Namaste, Sasrika, Shalom Alaikum, Assalamu Alaikum, and Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to another episode of The Message. I am your host, Mike Deasy, and today I will be doing an unscheduled talk on finding favor. Originally, I had planned to deliver a message about how originally this message was not even something I was thinking about. But after having a discussion with my colleague, Mama Bear, I felt pressed to change my subject to talk about men and women and finding favor in each other. Generally speaking, when we read any book of Torah, we find that the male is being described as finding favor in a female. However, when reading Torah, we find that generally when speaking of the concept of finding favor, it is the male finding favor in the female. And I've not read one account where a female is said to be finding favor in a male in the sense of looking for a mate. I've only ever found it as the male looking at the female to find favor. However, if we pay close attention to the words men are generally describing a woman's skin tone and features, such words as comely, well-favored, or well-pleasing to the eye are used to describe the beauty in ancient Israel. The men were not very concerned with a woman showing her skin, except that the woman was a prostitute. Naturally, the men did not go to prostitutes seeking marriage. Neither did their families. And yes, I know that Hosa did marry a prostitute. However, Hosa's story is not part of Torah. For this reason, I will not be focusing on Hosa. As I was saying, men did not go to prostitutes seeking marriage. They went to prostitutes to get relief from sexual tension. When a man wanted a wife, he had his intentions known to the woman's family and got to know the woman. How can we convert the practice of finding a wife into a modern understanding? Well, let's start with getting to know her. No matter the method, the first thing that needs to be done is to make the woman aware you as the man are interested in her. If the sister rejects you, brother, do not become discouraged. There are many reasons God does not allow us to marry the woman that we visually desire. Brothers, you have to consider the reality that a sister's aura can read your aura, and because she can read your aura, her aura may find you repulsive, and she will physically be made to reject you because her aura, everything that's in her mentally, is rejecting you because her aura is sensing what you're about. And because it senses what you're about, it does not like you and therefore wants nothing to do with you. The same can happen from the men's side. A woman finds us in particular attractive, or a particular man attractive, and our aura says no. We end up giving the woman the brush on the cold shoulder, which she feels hurt by, and may unfortunately feel depressed and give in to the demon of low self-esteem. This demon can strike either gender, and reality is, person A who rejects is not responsible for the esteem of person B. Person B is responsible for going to God and getting rid of the demon, as that demon should not be allowed to have a room in your metaphorical hotel. Let alone, the demon should not be allowed to live in your house being your body in this instance. In ancient Israel, according to the silent idea given in Torah, if a woman found a man comely or attractive, She would make excuses to be around him and do things with him. To men of that day, they understood the silent message the woman was giving. How do we apply this concept in our time? Well, to start, both male and female have to decide on what they will wear. The clothing we choose sets the tone for the audience we are telling the world we are about. Let's start with the brothers. Now, brothers, bear with me. Would you logically go into a corporate meeting with a basketball jersey on and sneakers? Of course you wouldn't. Sisters, would you go to the same interview with a blouse that has a lot of cleavage showing while wearing a miniskirt if you want to be taken seriously by men with a very narrow mind? No, you wouldn't. For both men and women, dress according to the occasion. Men, if you dress with pants sagging, even if the t-shirt is nice, your sneakers are on point. Or you dress nice and your sneakers are on point, the pants are what's killing your game. If you are after a woman of class, the pants will only draw attention to you. Will only draw attention to you from a woman of low self-esteem, and sometimes a down low brother. As ugly as that might seem to some, to those brothers who are watching who are straight, yes, this is a reality that you have to confront privately, or confront, period. And if that's your preference, okay. Just understand that your clothing will attract the attention it's going to attract. I didn't mention male grooming I'm not mentioning male grooming because I do not believe or feel I should have to tell the men how to groom themselves. For the sisters, just as his pants kill his game, your tight top that shows much in cleavage does the same. Sisters, if you intend for your audience to be a gentleman who goes to church and is serious about his faith, you cannot come to him with your goodies showing and truly expect him to see you as a wife. It's not going to happen. Why? Because all the females on the block that he already knows aren't about anything dressed like that. Sisters, you are attempting to tell this brother you are somehow different from all the other women with low self-esteem on the block. Now let's be honest. Let us flip this around. Would you really believe a man that dresses like the drug dealer you are very familiar with from the block? Would you believe this man if he told you he was the chief executive officer for, say, Nike or Neiman Marcus or any high-end any corporation that is well respected? Would you believe him? Would you believe this person if he dressed just like the drug dealer? Except that these corporations are doing a particular promotion which is highly unlikely. No, you would not believe him. Sisters, you have to dress for the audience, for your audience. And you have to be prepared to encounter, not necessarily embrace. You don't have to accept, but you have to be prepared for them to come your way because that's just the way of life. You have to be prepared to deal with foolish men who have no sense because there are, unfortunately, today more fools than there are men. Sisters, dress with taste but a splash of allure. I recognize that women of antiquity were more or less covered up than they are today. But then their men were slightly different than the men of today. So I will not advocate women covering everything like a nun, because that is insanity. And more importantly, it won't work. So add just a splash of spice to your outfit. Now, before you go there and ask, sisters, what if the guy wants? What if the guy I want doesn't go for me? He goes for the chick with all her stuff hanging out. If he does this, he's telling you what is on his mind in that moment, or in general. If you still want this particular man, you will have to adjust yourself accordingly to the flow of his current thoughts, or let him go after what is his flavor of the moment. If you choose to go the route of appealing to his sex drive, does this make you a prostitute? No. No, no. What it makes you is human. Remember, we men really do have simple minds. I know it's ugly to say, too. I know it's ugly to hear, brothers, but it's a reality. We have simple minds. No, we don't always want to admit to it, but you got the idea. Truth is, it's the truth. Sisters, if you dress according to our momentary taste, you truly do have the ability to sway us in a direction that appeals to you. The secret is all in how you work your words. Don't believe me? Try talking like an easy girl to get our attention. Then, once you have our attention, tell us in that same easy girl tone what you want us to do. Then, top it off with offering a small favor or a small reward to us. And yes, you will have to deliver on this small favor. I will end this talk here, as my time is up, and yes, there will be a part 2 on the subject next week, only because I have to finish this message. Thank you for allowing this message to enter your life, and I pray it has benefited you in some way. I'm Mike Daisy, saying, keep your haterade in full blast and speak into your future. Namaste, Sasrika, Shalom Alaikum, Assalamu Alaikum, and Assalamu Alaikum.